Welcome to the Second Impression podcast. I'm your host, R.A.P, aka Rhythm and Poetry. Today's guest is lyrical legend and conscious creative, SJC. What's up, man?
Oh, those are kind words. Those are kind words. Thank you.
Lyrical legend and conscious creative.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right, so first things first, introduce yourself to the listeners and let them know where to find you.
I am SJC, an artist from the UK. I make predominantly rap music, and you can find me pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, whatever those other weird ones you listen to on, Deezer, Pandora. I don't know those ones, but yeah, I'm on there. So yeah, everywhere.
It's so funny you say that because I also put my music on that. I'm like, I don't know who uses all of those, and I would suspect that somebody on the other side of the world would, but you guys don't use it either. So like, who's using these apps,
Yeah,
man?
no,
Who's listening to music
yeah,
on these apps?
it's crazy how many there are. It's crazy how many there are.
Yeah, I had a random person ask me once, actually, like, do you have your music on Boomplay? I was like, I have no idea what Boomplay is.
I always, if anyone asks me, I'm just like, I don't know, probably it's on most things. Like, it's on most things.
Just type the name up. All
Yeah.
right, so that will bring me to our first question. I want to know, how did you choose your name? How did you become SJC?
Um, well, to be honest, I wish it was a bit more exciting than it is, really. It's just my initials. Why, it's nothing fancy at all. It's just my initials. My name's Simon John Charlton, so it was pretty straightforward way to do it. When I first started releasing music, it was not with the intent of really, well, it was sharing it obviously, but I wanted to do it pretty anonymously. I wasn't really sharing it with anyone that I knew. I was just sort of putting it out there and putting feelers out and stuff. So I just picked my initials as a almost a mask to hide behind kind of thing, and then it just sort of stuck from there. I don't know what else I'd call myself if I had to pick something else. I don't know what else I would go for.
Okay. I was gonna have a follow up question actually for that, and I was gonna ask you if you ever had another name before, but I guess you've had the same name since the start.
Yeah, pretty much since the start. Yeah, I've always had like little random thoughts about it. No, the one that just sticks out of my head. I'm like metaphor. I like that name. I don't know why. With like a number four in it. That's pretty. That would be my gangster rap name.
I like that. That's pretty sick. I always thought of like if I would change my name, I would go something like prophet or prophetic or something like that, or but I
Yeah,
can't. No, I wouldn't be able to go with prophetic because then that's too easy. If I got into a rap battle, people just call me pathetic, So I couldn't do that.
yeah. You're setting them up every time, aren't you? Really?
Damn, yeah, I got to think better about that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
all right, so we'll move on to question number two. When did you first get into making music?
Um, I mean, I've been making music since I was like 16 or something. It's just not been rap music, really. I mean, the rap music just started in 2019, so like COVID times. Um, I was just bored in the house one day, noticed that there was this program on my girlfriend's Mac called GarageBand. Had a little look at it, made myself a beat, just started writing something. It just happened from there, really. Just boredom. Boredom made me go down the rap route. But from then, I was obsessed with like guitars and things like that. I was a rock kid. I liked all like the pop punk. That was like all predominant when I was a teenager. So that was what I was obsessed with when I was younger, like Blink 182 and all that stuff, Sum 41, all that made me want to play guitar. Then I was just one of those sad, pathetic, bedroom guitar singers that doesn't really sing or share it to anyone because I can't sing. So that also pushed me towards the rap route. I can't sing for shit. So it's know your strengths, isn't it? It's just know your strengths, know your weaknesses. So writing's never been a problem for me, but I say I can't sing, so I sort of fell into it. But I've always
Man,
loved music.
do I ever relate with you on that? I remember when I was a kid playing Rock Band and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, Guitar
And
Hero and stuff.
oh, bro, I had so much like stage presence, but then if you gave me like an actual like instrument, I couldn't do much for you. I learned how to play the drums a little bit and stuff. I could do basics on the drums, and that's about it. But
Yeah, I was obsessed with the guitar. I taught myself. So I couldn't afford lessons at the time, so I just taught myself YouTube videos, things like that. I gave up about 6 or 7 times, picked it back up like 6 months later. So it's just stuck. It's stuck. I think it was the first time that I was actually disciplined with something as well. So I think that's also another reason that I like it.
All right. So I'll move on to question number three. What kind of vibe can people expect from your music when they listen?
Um, See, I don't know really because it's mostly I think sad. I think it's not sad, but like my lyrics tend to hit a lot on mental health stuff. Um, so I often, even if it's not, even though even an upbeat song, if you really listen to the words I'm saying, it's like there's undertones of the sad stuff in there. It's like almost like sarcasm or irony and stuff. I like that kind of thing. Um, I have some pretty dark songs. I do have a couple of nice happy songs, but not many. Not too many.
Well,
Um,
I find honestly it's really important to be able, like, well, not to be able, but to have all types and different kinds of music to be able to connect with people in different ways, right? Because if
yeah,
you
exactly.
make
Yeah,
the type of music that you're making, then that helps people through those dark days because they feel like they have somebody they could relate to when they're listening to your music.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking in my mind when I write stuff. I mean, like I listen to music when I'm down and stuff, and the relatability of that music. So, it helps you feel a little bit better sometimes. Sometimes it just helps you wallow in your misery, but sometimes that's what you want to do. So it's
Yeah.
just that's what I go for when I write. It's just like it's relatability through transparency almost. Like the more transparent you are, the more relatable you are. So I try to take that forward with my writing.
I
I
agree
just
with that
happen to be
100%.
I'm a very sad guy most of the time, so just so
We
happens
all
that's
are,
what it
man.
falls
We
on.
all are. We're all dying
Yeah,
inside a little bit.
exactly. Running the rat race and stuff.
Yeah. So question number four would be who is one artist you'd love to collaborate with, dead or alive?
Oh, that's a really hard one. There's so many. I mean, I think if you'd asked me that question like 2 or 3 years ago, the answers would be totally different as well. So it's even harder for me now. Like I think before I started making rap music, I had no idea about many rappers outside of, Eminem, like the very obvious ones, 50 Cent and all that stuff. I
Hmm.
didn't know anyone. I didn't know any of them. So but now I do. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I like I like actually. It would probably have to be Dax. You know Dax? I'm
Yeah.
sure you do. He's,
Yeah.
He's Canadian. I'm sure you do. So yeah, I'd probably say him. I would like at some point, just because he's one of those artists that like I was on about before. I listen to a lot. It's very relatable to me sometimes. Um, and other than that, it would have to be if it was going like outrageously, it would just have to be your bog standard Eminem, just because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the first rapper that I really heard. Like I heard that, I can remember being like 8 or 9 in my mum's car, and it was on the radio. It was like Slim Shady or something, and all that stuff was on the radio. And it was like, what is this on the radio? My mum was getting really angry, so we loved it, obviously, because we're kids. And my mum was getting really annoyed at it, like, what is this shit? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. My mum hates it. That's great. So yeah, it would probably have to be him, man. It'd probably have to be him. Him or
And so
Dax.
I like that you mentioned Dax because I've been following his career for a long time because I used to really like listening to Futuristic and like the guys that did music with him, like
Yeah, yeah,
Devon Terrell and stuff. And then
yeah,
Futuristic
yeah.
ended up doing that one take challenge. And Dax is the one that ended up winning that one take challenge. So like Futuristic put Dax on a more like international level, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like a bigger radar and stuff.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like
Yeah.
the growth and stuff, and like also like obviously, yeah, like you said, coming from Canada and stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm fully back this artist. Let's go, man, Canada.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's one time you can back things when it's someone from your country. It's like, yeah, he's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, somebody besides Drake, like
Oh yeah, Drake's. I don't even know Drake's song, man. Like it's that. I'm really not into the mainstream music stuff either.
yeah,
So I don't even know these guys. I know of them now, but I don't really. If you show me a song, I'll be like, I don't know. I would guess Drake probably because it's most of them are Drake, so I'd probably guess Drake if you give me a song, but I wouldn't
Bro,
be sure.
I live in Toronto and I absolutely hate hearing about Drake all the friggin' time. Like, walking around, or even, bro, when I first moved here and I would be in a cab, like some random ass cab driver would be like, "You hear the new Drake song?" I'm like, "Bro, like, I'm going to work. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not I'm not trying to hear the new Drake song." Like, oh man.
It's too early to hear the new Drake song, man. Pipe down.
Exactly. All right, so we'll move on to question number five. What
Yeah.
song of yours is your favorite, if you could pick one?
Oh, that's hard, man. It's hard. It's like picking children.
It
I think I told you that a while back.
is.
Something else. It's really hard to pick between them. Um, I think if I had to pick one, I've got one song. It's called "Press Play." It's a song I wrote before my daughter was born, like almost to my daughter, kind of thing. Uh, with the intention of her listening to it in years to come and understanding what I'm saying and everything like that. So I think I would probably have to pick that one just for the sentimental value. Um, as a general vibe, as in listening to it, probably "Scheming with My Demons" is my best track, I'd say.
Hmm.
I love the beat on that one. Like really like brass and saxophones and stuff. I really like that kind of sound. So
Did you make
probably
the
that
beat
one.
on that one?
I did not. I did not.
Okay.
I don't make many of them. I've made a couple of my own beats, but not a lot of them. I predominantly use producers.
Okay. All right. Well, now I'll move on to the last question. Question number six. What's your plan for your future in music currently?
Um, Currently, I'm just going with the flow, to be honest. I mean, like I said, the rap stuff only really started for me in like 2019. I say 2019, it's probably even later than that. COVID fucked my timeline up in my head, so it's probably later than that. I think I've been releasing music for about 2.5 years. So what, we're 2023 now, so 2021. I probably started in about 2020, but with a bigger goal, like with a 10-year plan almost. So I'm not that far into it. I'm just focusing on getting better at the moment with every track. I don't worry about my numbers and stuff like that. Long term, I just want to make money off it, man. Not like rich, not famous. I just want to make a living off my music, be able to quit my job and be like, yo, I just make my music and that keeps me going,
Yeah.
pays my bills. I don't know what it might be. I might branch out, make beats, that kind of thing. I'm open minded. I just know I want to make money from this, so don't have to work for the fucking man. Pretty much.
Well,
That's
that's
the plan.
definitely a good plan, and I wish you the best on your friggin' ventures, man. Like, I'm happy to be here at the beginning, the somewhat beginning of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah. It is definitely.
All right. Well, hopefully that got you guys to know our guest a little bit more. So now we're going to be moving into our second portion of the show called Quiz the Wiz. If you guys haven't watched the show before, essentially before the show we get three topics from our guest, three categories, and then we make a little quiz. So the three categories today are general knowledge, geography, and football, aka soccer. Okay.
Yo, I don't know why I picked the topics I picked, man. When you asked me for topics, I was literally, my mind just went Trivial Pursuit. This is like Trivial Pursuit, and I was just like,
Yeah,
what am I good at in Trivial Pursuit? So, but yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident, man. Feeling confident.
that's good, man. That's good. So we'll start off with question number one. This starts off with football, aka soccer, and this is a multiple choice question. So I will give you multiple choices after the question.
Okay, cool, cool.
Generally, how it works. Okay.
That'll
So
help.
question number one: which two
Yep.
countries participated in the first international soccer match? Was it A, France and England, B, Germany and France, C, Scotland and England, or D, Germany and Scotland?
Do you play with the answers back again?
A is France and England,
Yeah.
B, Germany and France, C, Scotland and England, and D, Germany and Scotland.
I'm gonna go England, Scotland.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct. It is Scotland and England.
Yeah,
On November 30th, 1872, Scotland and England went head to head in the first ever international soccer match.
and we beat them, didn't we?
No, it
Shut up, did we not?
there was about 4,000 people that showed up to watch the game, and the score ended up 0-0 at the end.
You know what? That is so typical of England, right there. Like that's what it's like being. That's what it's like being a fan of England. It's like we're gonna win this, and then we just draw 0-0. It's
What
like
happened?
sub up for
Well, it
90
was a
minutes.
tie. Nobody
Yeah,
scored.
nobody scored. Nothing happened.
All right, so this next question is not a multiple answer or multiple choice question. It goes to geography. Um,
Okay.
what is Earth's largest continent? What is the largest continent on Earth?
Oh, I'm torn between two. I'm gonna go Asia.
And that's your final answer?
Is that my final answer? Is that your final answer? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Final
is
answer.
correct. It
Yeah.
is Asia.
Yeah. Because Russia's in
Oh,
it. Russia's predominantly there, and Russia's just huge, isn't it? So,
yeah.
and then
Russia's
China's in it.
massive. A lot of square feet up in there. All
Yeah.
right, so we'll move on to question number three. This is general knowledge, dude. I'm just gonna let you know all the general knowledge questions I grabbed are absolutely hilarious.
That's fine by me.
All right, what is the only king in a deck of cards without a mustache?
um, don't even know. Um, another one of clubs.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is
Ah,
incorrect. The correct answer is King of Hearts. And
uh,
there's actually a whole reasoning behind it is because the people who have like mustaches and like goatees and little beards, that's supposed to like how do you say represent greed and stuff like that. And because the King of Hearts is like pure of heart, he actually doesn't have a mustache or anything like that.
that's really wholesome.
It
That's
is it's so
that
random.
is,
It's
it
just a deck of
yeah, that's
cards.
so random. Yeah, I've never even noticed that. I'm gonna have to check next time I get a deck of cards. I didn't even know that.
So random.
Never
General
noticed.
knowledge, man.
Yeah,
General.
man, never noticed. That's this general is random as hell. But yeah, I like it. I've learned something. I like it.
All right, so we'll move on to question number four. This goes back to football.
Yep.
What is the and also this is multiple choice question.
Okay. Okay.
What is the record for the most red cards given in a single soccer game? Is it A 6, B 36, C 24, or D 12?
Mm, I'm gonna have to go. Oh, it depends if it's one team, isn't it? I mean, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna say 12. I've seen some pretty wild things on South American games and stuff on YouTube, so I'm gonna say 12.
All right, is
I'm
that
sure
your
they get
final
they
answer?
get. Yeah, I'm sure they get abandoned at a certain point. So yeah,
That is
uh,
incorrect. So
damn.
man, this is crazy. Okay, so the correct answer is actually 36, is the most red cards
36.
that were ever given in a single soccer game. So in 2011, Claypool played versus Victoriano Arenas.
Yeah.
And basically, there was like a brawl that happened. Almost every single player got kicked off. All of the substitutes got kicked off, and some of the technical staff also got kicked off as well.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Red cards flying everywhere, man.
Yeah, but they didn't have enough.
52
That's
pickup.
crazy. They really just shook them on the pitch. They're like, right, everyone off now. Just get off.
Game's done. Game's over.
That's
All
crazy.
right. So we're going to move on to question number five. This goes back to geography. What country has the most natural lakes?
Oh, I know this one. Canada.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
That That is correct. You know, I had to swing a Canada question in there.
Yeah, I knew you would. I was waiting for one. I was waiting for one.
All right. So, yeah, Canada has more than half of all the natural lakes in the world. 9% of the country is actually covered in fresh water.
That's crazy.
It is absolutely
Make,
nuts.
makes me want to come to Canada, man.
Man, it's absolutely beautiful here. Besides, like, the person who runs the country being a complete shit face, like, you know,
So I think that's the same most places, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
but I just struggle to find a good one, to be fair.
every country needs a punching bag, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
or
Definitely.
somebody to point the finger at, be like, everything's wrong because of you.
It's your fault.
All right. So we'll move on to question number 6. This goes back to general knowledge.
Random knowledge.
Oh my god. Which poison do apple seeds contain? What is the name of that poison?
In apple seeds.
Yep.
I hope it's not too lethal. I've eaten a few apple seeds. Um, I can't. I don't know. I don't even know the name of a poison to give you. Ricin, man. Ricin's the only one that I know.
Is that your final answer?
It's gonna have to be, I think.
Can you imagine if they friggin' had a bunch of ricin in the?
In apple pips.
Well, we didn't know. Like, no. So the poison that is in apple seeds is called cyanide.
Oh shit! Yeah, of course. I heard a cyanide. Yeah.
And
It's
you
in
would need
apple
to eat.
seeds.
Yeah, you would need to eat 143 apple seeds for a fatal dose of cyanide, all in one sitting.
No shit.
Yeah. So
Um.
that's how not very dangerous it is, but you should still be careful because the number's not 200.
Well, how to get away with murder, isn't it? Just bake an apple crumble, forget to take the pips out. There you go.
Hey man, maybe in Snow White the Twitch didn't even poison the apple. The apple was already poisoned with the cyanide seeds. And Snow White
Yeah,
just
exactly. It's the seeds.
cyanide poisoning, man. That's what happened.
It's crazy.
All right. So I'll move on to question number 7. This goes back to football.
Okay,
Who was the first English player to win league titles in 4 different countries?
David Beckham.
Is that your final answer?
Wait, was it? And how many were four?
In 4 different countries, yeah.
Yeah, David Beckham.
All right, that is correct.
Yeah,
I
got about
could
that.
throw you an extra point if you could name 3 out of 4 of the countries that he played for.
Yeah, man. England, France, Italy, Spain. Get maybe four of them.
Okay, well, the 4 that I have here that he actually
Oh,
won league
America.
titles with is England, Spain, U.S., and France.
Oh, really?
But you named
England, Italy.
4 or whatever, so we can give you two
Yeah,
positives on that one.
yeah.
2 points. All right. So
Got
we're going
about
to
that.
go to question number 8. This goes back to geography, and this is a multiple choice question.
Okay.
Which African nation has the most pyramids? Is it A, Algeria, B, Sudan, C, Libya, or D, Egypt?
I'm hesitating because I feel like it's a trick question. But my brain's telling me it's not. So I'm gonna say Egypt.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Ah,
incorrect.
it is a trick question.
So Egypt is the most synonymous with pyramids and stuff.
Yeah,
But Sudan is actually home to over 200 pyramids, which is actually twice the number of what Egypt has.
really, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't tell you that shit in school, do they? Keep that
No,
out
like Egypt has the pyramids. Like that's
of it. They're only in one place.
all right. So we'll move on to our final question. This is another general random knowledge question,
Okay,
multiple choice as well.
okay.
When was Diet Coke invented? A, in 1892, B, in 1962, C, in 2002, or D, in 1982?
Could have been. I'm gonna say 1982.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's correct. 1982, my
Yeah.
friend. Yo, and here's the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever that I learned from this. So,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola itself, right, was invented in
Yeah.
1886. So it almost took them 100 years until they made a Diet Coke version of the drink. Isn't that nuts?
That is a little bit nuts. It is.
They
With
were just
hindsight, I mean, I suppose back then they didn't really care, did they?
no. I think it's because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be a conspiracy nut or anything, but I think it's maybe because at 1982 or 1980s they had to take the Coke out of the Coca-Cola, so then they started making it's instead.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it, just a little bit. I mean, my hat's made of tin too, so it's fine.
All right. So how much do you think you got from 1 to 9?
I don't know. I think I got at least four. I
At
think.
least 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got at least four.
I'll give you a little drum roll here. Well, with the extra point that you got as well, you got 6 questions right.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
Ooh, 6.
I'll take 6. Thank you. That's very kind.
You're all very kind, so kind.
You're all very kind. Never had a clap before.
Never got the clap before.
No.
All right, so that ends our Quiz the Whiz portion of the show. Man, that was a lot of fun. This is probably one of the episodes that I learned the most stuff because of the general knowledge thing.
Yeah, but I was trying. I'm not gonna lie. I did try to do a little bit of research before. I definitely did a bit of Canada research because I did through a Canada question in there.
I wasn't even intending to, but then after like the geography thing came up, and it was like, yeah, Canada has the most natural lakes. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll throw that
Yeah, I
in
did a little bit. I did a Canada bit. I knew Ottawa was the capital and shit like that too.
there.
I knew you'd throw one in there.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and listen to a track by our guest. This is Feel Alive by SJC. Let's check it out.
Like to be alone when I can, this is where I go. Just lock myself away and let my mind flow. Daydream of doing shows, encores. Every time I try to go, like one more song, bro. Cause you know, I'm living a dream, whatever it means. Could be blowing steam or perhaps it's just something I can't yet see. Ignorance is the bliss that I miss, but all the past really is history. So I'm working on my future, cause I like a good mystery. Oh shit, I made your key that my mood fits. GC, I'm usually aggressive with the way I send a message, but that's not me, it's SJC. The manic side of my mind, so come and vibe with me. On the other side, yet to find a beat. I can't ride, found my feet, drunk on this shit. Watch me walk straight lines like a convict. All I've got is time, so I watch the clock tick just to feel alive. Hold up, wait, say I feel alive, but I'm just a paradox that I try to hide like my leaky eyes. No peeing, big boys don't cry. You get high, twisting up a wristler while you're practicing a smile. See if one will fit you, then it hits you like the first ray of sunshine in the morning. Life is boring when you live inside your mind. You refuse to let anybody step inside, so my door's always open. Come vibe, or you like mine, hope you don't mind. Dark lines, sometimes I touch on suicide. So don't fret yet, music keeps me alive. I'm not a synonym for getting in. If you're looking for him, I'm not your guy. Hi, I'm Psy, I'm only here to win. Been paying for my sins, but life is looking up. It's finally getting shaken up, about time. Something woke me up, cause I've been sleeping heavy down on my luck. Alarm bells ringing, couldn't give a fuck. But my little lady's on the way, she's got my ideas booked up. Counting down the days, I'm full of fear, yeah, but human. Oh shit, I made your key that my mood fits. GC, I'm usually aggressive with the way I send a message, but that's not me, it's SJC. The manic side of my mind, so come and vibe with me. On the other side, yet to find a beat. I can't ride, found my feet, drunk on this shit. Watch me walk my mind, so come and vibe with me. On the other side, yet to find a beat. I can't ride, found my feet, drunk on this shit. Watch me walk straight lines like a convict. All I've got is time, so I watch the clock tick just to feel alive.
Welcome back. Once again, that was Feel Alive by SJC. Now, our next segment that we're going to be moving on to is called Do You Remember? Essentially, the point of this segment is to have like a little bit of a throwback discussion about things or a topic that our guest brings up before the episode. So today's guest picked technology. So I'm actually curious. I'm going to ask you. You could go off. You could go off on a tangent for as long as you want, my friend. This is about you, okay? I want to know your upbringing, like when you were a teenager and stuff. What was technology
Yeah.
like for you? Like, what was your experience with technology? Like, I'm very curious from being like on different sides of the world and stuff.
Video games, man. Video
Yeah.
games. My first technology. The first technology thing I really loved, Sega Mega Drive, man.
Oh
Do
man.
you have one of those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the first real like piece of technology I truly fell in love with, I think. Sega Mega Drive. And then I was hooked from there on like video game consoles and shit. Um, Other than that, not too much. I was quite a outdoorsy kind of kid. Um, I wasn't from a particularly well off. I was a single mum with three kids, so things were a bit tight at home and stuff. So I didn't have. I was really late getting like internet and like like fancy TV like Sky TV and stuff like that. All came quite late for me in comparison to quite a lot of the people around me. So I guess I didn't really rely on it that much.
Okay.
Um, but my video games I relied on very heavily, very very heavily.
I can definitely relate with that. Like,
Yeah,
I remember
it's like
also
an
growing
escape.
up that they had like I don't even remember if this is a long ass time ago, so I don't remember the straight up details are kind of foggy, right? But
Yeah.
uh, I think it was MSN Messenger or something a little bit before that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't like
I had MS.
the app part yet, right? It was just the website, and basically they had all these like little games you could play. And I had one of my aunts that lived like far away, and she would play this. I don't even remember. It was like a rock paper scissors game, but it was like karate. So it was like you still do rock paper scissors, but if you beat the other person, you'd kick them in the face or something, you know. And I
Yeah,
remember
I think I remember
playing
those.
that, and there was this computer game that my stepdad was a huge fan of Kiss, right? The band Kiss, and
Mm.
they
Oh
had
yeah,
this.
me too, man, me too.
Oh
Great
yeah,
fan.
they had this game on the PC at the time called Psycho Circus, like for their one song, right? Psycho Circus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that game was creepy as hell, but it was so fun. And those were like my first memories. And then also, whenever we got a phone call that the internet would just kick
The
out,
internet cuts out. Yeah, I was gonna say dial-up, man.
that
Right.
was
That
god awful.
yeah, that's what I mean about being late as well. Like I can remember dial-up because like my aunts and uncles had dial-up, but I didn't get internet until Wi-Fi was a thing, so I never had the actual annoyance of the dial-up. I never experienced that personally.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't
kind
fun.
of blessed in that way, I think.
You dodged the bullet for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it. I can remember the noise, just a little. Every time someone was getting a text message, just a little,
Oh my
like
god.
come through, it's like static beeping or whatever.
It's funny too, like to imagine like you're at a studio, producers trying to make music, and then they get a phone call, the friggin' internet kicks out. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, yeah, literally. Or you get
Just
that little noise that just fits perfectly into the beat, and then it just gets incorporated at the end. Like, yeah, that worked actually. That actually worked. Could go either way.
I remember hearing a long time ago the what is it, the Apple like ringtone. like when you get a phone call on an iPhone or something, and somebody made it into
Yeah,
a hip hop beat, dude, and dude, that sounded
yeah.
so sick. Like,
Did they?
oh yeah, it was
That's great.
banging, man. It was banging, dude. I was like, I don't even care if my phone rings. I'll switch my phone, my ringtone to that instead.
I'll change my ringtone to that. That's made it wait.
Uh, yeah, then myself, like, I did a lot of video games as well. Like, didn't really have a dad around, had random stepdads and stuff at certain intervals in my life, but video games were
Yeah,
always there, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Um, oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, when I got into like later on in my life, like towards the end of high school, I was working for like the Source or like technically Radio Shack or whatever, but they don't exist anymore. Um, but yeah, that shit was wild as hell. Like I explain a lot of people that I to a lot of people, sorry, that I'm really grateful for the experience working there because it was like really different. Because if you go to like if you go to a store, right, that just sells cell phones and crap like that, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's all they sell, right? Cell phones and like what do you say, like home internet, like home services and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So as a salesman, that's still like a lot easier because you know when somebody's coming in, that's what they're intending to buy, right?
Yeah, they want a phone, don't they? They're in a phone shop.
Exactly. So when I worked at the Source slash Radio Shack, it was the fucking worst, and it really tested your like ability to be able to sell stuff to people because basically my manager at the time wanted us to have a cell phone or like home service conversation with every single person that walked into the store, which is like obviously that's a good goal to have, but
Yeah.
we also have to be realistic to a certain extent, you know. And
Yeah.
I explained to her one time, like, so essentially what her reasoning was is that, like, obviously she wanted to sell cell phones. That was the point. And that she thought that everything else in the store was pointless. And like that store, dude, sells everything from like watch batteries to RC vehicles to laptops to computers to friggin' glasses, like blue light screen blocker glasses and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So basically, whenever somebody came in, I had to like find a way to be like, hey, so who's your cell phone with or something. And like if I didn't sneak that into the conversation, dude, by the time like our convo's done and I'm walking to the counter, I just have to blurt it out essentially before we get to the counter. Like, and I was so pissed one time because there was this dude that came in and this guy was like at least 90 years old, man. This guy was very, very old. And all he wanted was
Yeah,
a watch battery to replace in the watch that he currently had. And I was just
yeah.
helping him out, gave him a watch battery, blah blah blah. And as I'm like walking him to the counter, my manager is like sneaking up behind me, and she's all like, "Hey, did you have a cell phone conversation with him?" I'm like, "Dude, no. The guy is 90 fucking years old."
He doesn't want a cell phone.
I'm like, he doesn't want a cell phone. Like, what the fuck? And she's like, well, he's buying a watch battery. Maybe, like, you know, if he had a cell phone, then he could look at the time on his cell phone. I'm like, you're so fucked, dude. I'm like, when we sign people to contracts, it's a 2 year contract. The man's 90. He might not even live for 2 years. What? Like, the last
Yeah, compared to
years of
last
his
legs.
life, you want to lock him into a contract and fuck him over? Like, whoa, what the hell, man? Like,
Yeah, man.
yeah, so I had this like a really it was good testing like the skill, like to like I developed a skill later on for sales purposes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
um but at the time it was just so stupid. Like there was no link between the technology that made any sense most of the time, and they're like, the guy's coming in during Christmas to buy an RC vehicle for his kid, and I'm like, hey, yeah, you should get your kid a fucking cell phone instead. Like, you know, like I had to be that guy, and I hated doing that because
Yeah.
I'm like, I try to be a trustworthy person. I don't try to be a slimy person, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like, isn't it? I work retail, so it's pretty similar. Like we get told to push. I mean, at the minute we've got like an app, like a loyalty app, and it's like most of our customer base are all like that 90-year-old guy, that old people. So they come in with the little plastic cars, and I'm like, oh, you want to get the app? And they just look at me like, what's the app? Like, how do I do it? They've got no idea. They haven't even got an email address to sign up for it. but we get measured on it and stuff. So if you don't offer them it or you don't get them to sign up for it, you don't get like rewarded or whatever. So it's one of those where it's not realistic. It's the same as what you say. It's not realistic. Like
No,
that's one of the reasons that I was saying before. Like what I want to do with my music is just make money off it. Is because that's the environment that I hate. Like it's the environment I'm in as well. Like a very corporate, very profit based. Everyone's a number. So it's not what I want for my long term. Definitely not.
yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like the position I'm currently in, I'm like a little bit more padded because I work in the cannabis industry and stuff, right? And like I'm
If it was
basically
legal over here, man, I would definitely do the same.
yeah, I'm basically an over glorified friggin' weed dealer. Like I don't have to wait on the corner or text somebody. People just come to
Just
my
wait behind the
shop.
desk.
Yeah, man, and it's hilarious, but like the industry's super fucked up because the government placed themselves to be like the ultimate middleman to tell you how much you're selling your shit for and then sell it back to another company and all this fucking stuff. And the
I
especially
can
where I
imagine it's pretty crooked.
yeah, especially where I am, there's so much like there's such an over saturation of like stores and stuff on the market that like there it sucks because people literally just like if I because I'm the only person that works like during a shift, right? So if I have to go to the
Yeah,
bathroom, I gotta lock the store for 2 minutes. If
yeah,
in that 2 minutes, like the person knocks and they don't see anybody coming, they're just walking away because there's a store literally 6 doors down every single time.
yeah. There's so many. It's like a boom almost, isn't it, when it became legal?
Yeah, it's literally nuts because like Ontario was the one place that gave everybody the ability to make privatized shops and all this crap, so everybody got to make their own like personal stores. Whereas like other places like Quebec, for example, they did more like a government run store, like a liquor store or like a beer store.
Yeah,
So like the government or those stores that sell weed in that province are only government shops, you know.
yeah,
Which I think, honestly, in my honest opinion, the government should have done throughout the whole country because at that point, first of all, there wouldn't be an oversaturation of shops because they would decide how many friggin' stores show up, and also you'd be technically a government employee, so you would get health benefits. So
yeah. Well, I mean, in the UK, we've got our healthcare's free over here for now. For now, it is. Our government's probably going to privatize it eventually. They're not very good, but
well,
we still
our
got in
healthcare
politics.
our healthcare is still free and stuff here. It just like if I want to get dental work, like I still gotta have to pay for dental if I'm not insured, right?
Oh, right, yeah, I do too. Yeah,
So yeah, basically like the what you gonna call it the health benefits or like dental,
yeah, free
vision. I
dental.
have to get glasses and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
something else that's
that's
not
pretty cool.
important.
Yeah,
Oh, also physio too, because I had to take physio last year, and I had coverage for it, but
that's
typically
pretty
you
cool.
don't.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, man, like I don't. I what I was trying to get at actually, because I just totally fucked up and forgot what I was talking about. But what I was trying to get at is that the retail in the cannabis industry is like it's a little bit more lax, just depending who you work for, obviously, just like any other
Yeah,
job. But I feel like because like cannabis and music are pretty much almost synonymous with each other, so I'm able to
yeah,
get away with putting myself out there as an artist while I'm at work. You know, like if I was working at the
yeah. That's
Source
good.
and shit at or Radio Shack, I would be like, "Hey, you want to buy a cell phone and my newest album?" You know, like
I
you buy a cell
don't think I
phone
would
and find
say
me
the
on
same,
iTunes.
would
You know, like
it?
right.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's like you like stoner rap. I got one for you.
Exactly. And then half the time too, I could just play that stuff while I'm working, and unless there's an old lady that walks in, then I just try to play some like
Quickly turn it down, turn it down.
David Guetta or something. I don't know.
David Guetta for the old lady. Come on, Margaret, shake those hips.
I'm gonna raise your heart rate before you get out of here. I promise you that.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't share my music at work. I don't think. No, I do a lot of venting about like Karens and things like that. So I couldn't. My customer base and things. So I couldn't really share my music at work. Probably it wouldn't go down very well.
Man, you just write a whole entire diss track to your employer and then just play it at work all the time. Like, who is this? You're like, I don't know, man, but I really like this song.
It's not me. I promise it's not me.
Mention them
my voice a little
by
bit.
name and stuff too, man. Like, even you sack of shit. And like, oh man, that's my name. Like,
could be an idea for the future.
I really relate to this.
I just like it because it's relatable, man.
All right, man. Well, hopefully this whole entire episode got you guys to know our guest a little bit more as an artist, as a person, as somebody with general knowledge or random general knowledge.
Probably the three I got wrong, isn't it?
No, man, you got the Coca-Cola one right, bro.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. I'd also like to thank you for joining us today on the episode, man. Thank you very much.
No, thanks for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
I'm definitely going to get you on again because it was fun chilling and chatting with you.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. A lot more relaxed as well than I thought it was going to be. So thanks for that too.
Oh, no problem. I like making the chill environment for people to come on and just like hang out and be themselves, you know? Like we're all just creatives hanging out at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all good.
All right. Well, tune in next week to the Second Impression podcast and show with me, R.A.P, and our new guest. Good night, everyone.